Hey guys, this is Chad Wheeler and TJ Fleming. Sorry about our Idaho accent. Both of us are farmers and ranchers and hunting and fishing. But anyways, let's get right into this. So our project was leisure and well-being model. Again, Chad Wheeler and TJ Fleming.
So according to ATRA, therapeutic recreation is the treatment service designed to restore, remediate, and rehabilitate a person's level of functioning and independence in life activities to promote health and wellness, as well as reduce or eliminate the activity limitations and restrictions to participation in life situations caused by an illness or disabling condition. All right, so that was a mouthful. But simply, in other words, TR helps an individual who physically can't do a specific activity and helps him reduce any limitations to that activity.
Perfect, thanks, TJ. So we've got a picture here on foundational theories. I thought that this was really interesting, just with like the human development of this sport. As you can see, this is volleyball played through people that have disabilities, people that don't have legs. This is actually really cool because of the development that is just growing rampant in therapeutic recreation.
So this was interesting to read up on these authors here and creators, Frisch and Seligman. I think that's how you say their names. But Michael Frisch was studied at Baylor University and received his PhD and practices positive psychology and clinical psychology in their department there at Baylor. And then Martin Seligman is a leading authority in the fields of positive psychology, resilience, and learned helplessness, depression and optimism and pessimism. He's also a recognized authority on interventions that prevent depression and build strengths and well-being. And they founded and created this model in 2007.
So many of you probably have been up here at BYU Idaho. I know both TJ and I are up here at BYU Idaho on campus, and I thought that this was really cool. As you see in the middle of this picture, or of this slide, excuse me. So this is a picture of Brother Barney. So this is Keith Barney, a really cool teacher. So this slide demonstrates an outlining concept. So anyways, going back to this picture, it's Brother Barney. A long time ago, a little bit of background of Brother Barney was he was about 13, maybe 12 years old. He really enjoyed hunting and fishing, and what he did was he was out hunting with some of his friends, and they were in this storage unit or in this grain silo, he was saying, and his friend accidentally shot him in the back, and it paralyzed him from the waist down. But Brother Barney is just an amazing guy, and he stays positive over this whole thing. So outlining concepts, it is a focus on strengths and concepts. Positive, just being positive. I said Brother Barney went through some hard times when he got shot in the back, but through finding people that went through what he did, he was able to stay positive. So this is a prime example of somebody who is staying positive.
So some unique attributes to this model. Well, the first one we have here is begin with the end in mind. You have to put yourself in their shoes. So you get all sorts of people that walk through the door of therapeutic recreation. It's important to take a step into their shoes and see where they're coming from, see where they want to get to, and both have the beginning and the end in mind. And then the second one we have here is we're going to continue working with the individual until they feel confident in what they want to accomplish. So a lot of individuals will come in having a goal or vivid description in their mind of who and what they want to become and achieve, and it's important that we stay with that individual and keep working with them until they're able to achieve what they are desiring. And Brother Barney here, and he didn't let that accident that he had stop him. He created a new dream, perhaps that he didn't think about earlier, and now is achieving that by helping many people even around the world.
You know, and just like TJ said, just to go on top of what he said, it doesn't have to be people in wheelchairs. I know we have a lot of pictures with people in wheelchairs, but it could be people that don't have a physical disability. I remember working with a kid when I used to work at Journeys, and one of his biggest things was he wanted to be more fit in with everybody. A 13-year-old kid, teenager, he didn't know how to tie his shoes. But one of his goals was for me to help him feel good about himself so he can tie his shoes. And I thought that that was really cool and staying positive. So jumping to this slide, this is strengths with this model. Strengths can be found anywhere. As you can see, this guy has some amazing strength. He's probably stronger than TJ and I put together, but he's pulling himself up a mountain uh, in his wheelchair. And I thought, you know, how cool that is. Or maybe he's rappelling down, but he has to have some pretty good strength to do that. So a model is very versatile. It works with all populations and age groups. I mean, as I mentioned, the kid was only 13 years old and learning how to tie his shoes, so it works with different age groups. Stays focused on the positive abilities of that individual, and so we just have to be positive as we're helping out these people. If we're not positive, then there's no way that they're going to stay positive. Now, if I wasn't positive when helping the kid tie his shoes out, then he probably would have later on not been able to do that. So we need to adapt to a model and follow the current trends. We also need to build on evidence-based theories. And as we mentioned, we have a prime example. If you have a chance to meet up with this gentleman, very good prime example is Brother Barney.
So this slide is a little bit interesting as weaknesses with this model. Others sometimes can't see how leisure can be used to rehabilitate somebody. And I was just thinking about this, and my uncle, he has Down syndrome, and he stayed with us for several years. And it was interesting how he even recognized that he's any different than anybody else. And through this actual company that Chad used to work for, Journeys, my uncle went with them, and he was able to go out and do many different things through recreation that was able to rehabilitate him. And after he a year ago or two, he got into a moped accident and was able to go through some rehab, even with some therapists and helping him get back to where he needed to be. So just a few quotes here that I thought were really interesting. The worst thing about a disability is that people see it before they see you. And then our other one here that I kind of liked was our greatest weakness lies in giving up.
You know, and we talk about these things, whether it be an uncle like TJ's talking about or just children in general. But during this slide, I thought this was cool. It says most appropriate population to use this model. We feel like, you know, the most appropriate age that we're going to use this model is going to be adolescence. Both TJ and I sat down a couple days ago and we were talking about this. Is we're not that old. I mean, we're college students up here, and you know, some of us just barely got out of high school. Be 5 years ago, whether it be 8 years ago, or some of us in this class just got out of high school maybe a year ago or last semester. You know, so. I thought is really cool is that we could probably be more beneficial and help out the adolescents than we think we can. I mean, because we were just right there. These two pictures are pretty cool to me. I mean, as you can see, this little boy here doesn't have any legs, but that smile right there is a heart wrench. I mean, it just it pulls you there because he's smiling, he's having a good time. He might only be running 100-yard meet or just 100-yard dash or whatever, but he's having a great time. But adolescents would be the most appropriate that I think we would work with. And to the left is a picture of these boys. It looks like both of these boys have uh, a physical disability. The one doesn't have an arm, and then the other one doesn't have legs. But you know, this was really cool to do this assignment because it stretched both TJ and I, and we were able to accomplish a lot of things and just really think about what these gentlemen, these philosophers, were talking about, and how this model was created to help us out.
So I hope you enjoyed this presentation as much as we enjoyed putting it together. Um, some references you can maybe follow if you want to learn more about it. And anyway, thanks for listening.